not been there on those types of issues, protecting family, including our marriage amendment. Steve came out against it before the vote in 2006. So there's a variety of things, even offshore drilling, oil drilling. I support drilling for oil. He doesn't. I think that's a big deal to our economy.
What type of a role could the Attorney General play in stimulating the economy?
Well, primarily getting government out of the way. We don't so much create jobs as create opportunity. And that opportunity is where the private sector thrives. Those are things that I'm very much focused on. And those are reasons why the small businesses in Virginia have endorsed me. The NFIB, the small business organization in Virginia, is supporting my candidacy.
Both you and Delegates Shannon have made cases for being effective leaders. How does your style differ from his, and ultimately, why do you believe that you are potentially a more effective leader as Attorney General?
Well, fundamentally, in our times in the legislature, Steve has sat back. He really hasn't gone to fight for anything that wasn't already an easy win. Steve has got some laudable things he's worked on over the years, and I congratulate him for that. But he hasn't brought things into the legislature that were 20-19 votes, that were 22-18 in the Senate, or 60-40 in the House. I mean, all of his bills have been 90-10 and 35-5. They're layups. They're easy. I've been fighting over property rights. I've fought with every special interest in Virginia for property rights. Steve was on the side of special interests. I mean, those are major differences between us. I've fought with my fellow Republicans. I'm the Republican nominee for Attorney General, but when Republicans are wrong, I'll stand up to them. I think people expect that from an Attorney General. Steve hasn't done that on his side. He just hasn't engaged in those fights. He hasn't proven his mettle, M-E-T-T-L-E, in this case, in standing independently on his own. And an Attorney General needs to be prepared to take stands that maybe their own allies don't like. There's no evidence Steve has ever done that.
How do you think the Attorney General has an impact on the daily lives of Virginians?
Well, it's very subtle. Areas like business and the economy, certainly in fighting gangs, the safety of many Virginians is addressed, at least in part, by the Attorney General. For instance, in the Shenandoah Valley, the Attorney General's office is running an excellent program coordinating law enforcement and prosecutors to address the rising gang problem there. And their gang problem comes out of Northern Virginia, and it's much like ours. That's a model I'd like to see used in other parts of the state in terms of suppressing gang activity and being aggressive in attacking it. You know, that's a way that we can affect the daily lives of Virginians, and obviously for the better. We want to keep them safe.
So, Senator, both you and Delegate Shannon are obviously competent candidates. Why should voters vote for you?
Well, that's a great question that every voter ought to take into the booth with them, and I certainly hope that each person watching will vote for me. I want to ask for every one of those votes. First of all, because of my limited government approach and my strong economic approach at a time when the recession is hurting people the most, gives me big advantages over Steve, and it's a track record that I bring to the table, and it's why the small businesses have endorsed me. I've also been working on every criminal justice issue in Virginia for the last 7 years, and I bring that experience to the table after starting to work on mental health issues and after starting to work on juvenile justice and delinquency prevention, including gang prevention. So I've been involved in this for a long time, you know, while Steve has some things he can point to, and I think that's perfectly legitimate, I have a much longer and stronger track record in these areas, particularly the economy and in criminal justice issues over many years. And I've got a track record of success in these areas in the legislature for policies that are good for Virginia. I would appreciate each person's vote, and yours included. And thanks very much for the opportunity to talk to all the Darshan viewers. I certainly hope I'll have their votes.
Well, Senator, it was our pleasure to have you here, and good luck in November.
That I can use. Thank you.